Our second band this evening are now ready to perform for you, so without any further ado, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our National Youth Reserve Brass Band of Scotland to the stage and their musical director, Mr. John Bolks.
Good evening. This is the National Youth Brass Band Reserve Band in their concert at the end of our weeks-long course. The first piece you heard was a piece called To Catch a Spark. And this piece was a commissioned piece by Saba. Saba commissioned 4 young composers to produce 3 pieces each. And this was part of a COVID relief fund funded by Creative Scotland. And from the 4 composers, we've got some wonderful music, and that was one of the first. So that was a premiere. I think you heard one in the children's band programme as well. There are others to come, so lots of new and exciting things. That first piece just was amazing. The band loved it. The young composer had actually not written much before for brass band, and I think he's produced a wonderful piece that will be heard over and over and over again. So, we're going to move on to our second piece. I'm not going to introduce it because we have someone very special to conduct it. This is a dear friend of mine. I've known him for many years. You could probably say he is Mr. Nibs, and I love him to bits. So I'm going to introduce now Richard Evans, our conductor emeritus, to conduct the next piece, and he will tell you all about it. Richard.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, John. Very kind of you there. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. As John said, I am the musical director emeritus. Now, I think it's got something a little bit to do with my age. I'm a lot older than anyone here. And I think they treat me as a father figure. I think it's maybe a grandfather figure, but I love it. I love it. I love this band. I joined the band in 1993, so I've been here a long time. But the other 3 conductors are really good. As you've seen John, you saw Alan, and you're going to see Ian later. They're good enough anyway, but I am standing in the background. If they need a little bit of help, I'll try and help. So we're going to play a lovely, I've chosen a lovely piece to play. It's called Elegy, and it's in memory of a man called Eddie Noble, who actually was, he was 50 years in charge of the committee at Brighouse and Rastrick. And Lee Baker, who was the first baritone player in that band, decided to write a piece in commemoration of his life. And it's a beautiful little piece. It's quiet, but it's lovely. So here we're going to play now Elegy. John. Yes. Thank you, Richard. Sorry, I left that open.
Thank you, Richard. That was absolutely beautiful. You still have it in your fingers. It still works. So this band really is the middle band of the three in the sort of pathway to the senior band. And the reserves, it's full of those players who have ambition to play one day in the senior band. I'd love to keep them all. Unfortunately, Richard wants to steal them all for the senior band. But I have to say the band this year has worked extremely hard. It's been a very difficult year with COVID, people not having lessons, not playing in their bands. But from day one, I could tell this band really was going to work very, very hard. And thank you very much, band. You've been absolutely brilliant. Now, we're going to play a piece by the Beatles. 1968, I think this piece was. I actually didn't know it was by the Beatles. It's called Honey Pie. And if you look at the title, it's Honey Pie and it says Lennon and McCartney. But I think Paul McCartney wrote this himself, but I think Lennon had to have his name in there. It's a great little piece. It's arranged by Sandy Smith, again, another ex-NYBBS player. And Sandy saw the programme earlier on. He sent me a little message to say, this is tricky. So we love it, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, they're well versed. So I hope you enjoy Honey Pie. well done. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We had some super playing in the percussion from Scott Crumley. Scott, up you get. Well done, guy. Scott's very much been on his own this week, being the lone percussionist, but we've got some very mature helpers with Mark from the senior band and Damien, who's been helping out the children band as well. So thanks, Mark and Damien. Thank you very much. So, I talked earlier on about the first piece and how it was a special commission. NYBBS always has very, very talented people, whether it be tutors or conductors, but especially this year we've got some unbelievable tutors. We had Shona White, who gave a great masterclass the other day. The band were actually blown away by that. And we had another masterclass from our cornet tutor. His name is Gareth Bowman, and he composed a piece. He actually started it maybe 2-3 years ago, and it's for the reserve band. So I'm going to ask Gareth now to come and speak a little bit about his piece, and then he's going to conduct this piece. So welcome, Gareth Bowman.
It's an absolute privilege to be asked to conduct this piece at the concert this evening, and the reserve band have certainly done us all proud, but done me particularly proud with how well they've worked on this piece. This piece is called Fives for Brass, and my main aim for this piece was to compose a piece that would be enjoyable to play, but also enjoyable to listen to, and I hope it ticks both of those boxes. Fives for Brass, there is a link to the kind of concept of five in every single movement, but there is also a story behind it. The first movement is entitled Boakes' Brilliant Band, and that's in dedication to all the hard work that John Boakes has done over the years for NYBBS and in particular for the reserve band, and also dedicated to the reserve bands of past and present, because every year we're absolutely blown away with how well they work on the course and how they sound at the end of the course. We're privileged to be up at Strathallan School, and the grounds here and the scenery around about is absolutely stunning. So the second movement is entitled Strathallan Views. The third movement is named Ewan's Slipped Jig. And that goes back to a few years ago. Ewan came through from Colburn Band and played in the children's band, reserve band, and onto the senior band. And he's a wee bit of a character. And at the course a few years ago, he decided to try to do a backflip off a wall and managed to break his ankle. He then went to hospital, got his ankle, his leg in plaster, and then came back and won the solo contest the next day. So that's named after Ewan and all his escapades. The next movement is simply just capturing the fun of the course, because at the course we all have lots of fun and have a great week, and the last movement encapsulates the kind of all the emotions of the end of the week. We've had a great week, so we'd like to reflect on that, but also as we leave all our friends who we've made over the years, we're also quite sad and kind of reflect on that as well. So the opening of that reflects that, but then the anticipation builds to the final concert. So it's my privilege to introduce the reserve band to play for you a world premiere of Fives for Brass.
That was an absolutely wonderful performance. I think, you know, the band loved that piece. Most of you said that your favourite piece was Fives for Brass. You know, when the young players come and they say that a piece like that is their favourite, you know that they really enjoy it. And that was 13 minutes long, that piece. So Gareth, thank you so much. I'd like to hear you all giving Gareth another round of applause. And over the years, I always say at a concert, you know, we come with music probably more than we need because we've no idea the standard of the band, and we always have lots of music, and then we sort of get down to where we are. The band have enjoyed all of the music we've brought this year, and that's been fun, hasn't it? Yes. So we're now going to change things a little bit and slow things down. I'm going to play a piece of music called Suo-Gan, which is a Welsh lullaby. It's the middle movement of a test piece called A Celtic Suite by Philip Spark. I absolutely love this, but I'm going to dedicate it to somebody. This has been, as I say, a difficult year for us all, and we're so pleased to be here. And NYBBS takes a lot of planning, and it probably starts the minute this course finishes, we'll start planning for next year. So someone who lives in my house has been planning for a long time to put this together, and she's worked so hard. She's worked so hard to get all of the mitigation right and to make sure that we all do things properly. And I've had to listen to her at home, and that's been difficult for me. But yeah, I love it anyway. So we're going to dedicate this next piece to Carrie Bolks, the course director of the National Youth Brass Bands of Scotland. So here we have Suo-Gan. So, beginning that piece, we had Angus Ritchie on euphonium. Stand up again, Angus. And Aidan Miller on baritone. Up you get. Well done, gents. Super. What a lovely piece. Absolutely beautiful. So, we're now going to play another one of our new commissions. I need to get the score for this one. Just to show you what it's called, because if my teeth don't work, this might come out as something completely different. So, this is a piece by Cameron Maben, again, one of the four composers who wrote music for us. This, again, is a smashing piece. Pieces, I think, that we're going to use well into the future. So this is called, I'll have a go, Funked Up, and it's for brass band by Cameron Maben. What a foot tapper that was. Thanks to our principal cornet, Cameron Hamilton. Have another stand up, please. Emma Brown, stand up. And Jamie Colville. Well, we've come to our last piece, but before we do that, this doesn't all just happen with just me standing in front of the band. There's a team behind me, and what a team it is as well. So I'm just going to say a big thanks to them. Hopefully the band will join me in this. So what I'd like to do first of all is thank the tutors. So we have Gareth Bowman, Philippa McDougall, Charlie Farron, Mark Landon, and Damien Martin. So what happens when we come together is that we work out the music, and then the tutors take the sections away and they work with the youngsters and they bring all of this together. So it's not just about me, it's about them as well. So they look after the musical side of things, but somebody has to look after the other side of things, which is not always the easy side of things, especially when you've got two brothers in the bass section. They're actually little angels, Ralph, if you're watching. So, but we need a house staff to look after that. So in the house staff, we have Tom Allen, Father Tom, he's not here. We have Adam Allen. We have Leslie Crumlish. And we have Elaine Roxburgh. So that is Team Reserves. And I'd also, again, like to say a huge thank you to Richard Evans, who always comes, cheers us up, and when I ask him to do anything, he's happy to do that. And this year, he actually did a section for me. So one of our other tutors, Mr. Richard Evans. So the last piece we're going to play is a piece called Music for Jock, Tamson. This is an interesting piece. It's been composed by Alan Fernie, a dear friend of mine, a breath of fresh air in the children's band. They all love him. He loves them, and you can see that the children's band just has a ball every time he's there. But as a composer, he's amazing, and he writes some beautiful music. So this is an interesting piece. Just going to let you know the movements. The first movement is called Naya Fiertes, and I hadn't a clue what that means. But I think somebody managed to tell me it was no feart, or not scared. And it's for Carrie. I wonder why Fiertes is in the title for Carrie. I think I know why. So it starts off with sitting on a bucket. That's the first thing it says in the piece. And then rambunctiously. I'll just put it down here so I can turn it over. And then we have a little section that says, we've got a little quartet that plays. So we have Willie. We then have Wee Eck. We have Soapy Suitor. And we have, where is he? Fat Bob. Stand up, Aidan. Who could ever call you fat? Have a seat. Now these are all characters from Our Willie, and if you don't know what that is, it's a well, what is it? It's a cartoon, yeah, I suppose it is, or something that we used to read. But the best one I think is for Angus, and he's called Primrose Patterson, which fits very, very well. The second movement is entitled Inch Keith, and that's for Nigel, and this is Nigel Durno. I think probably Alan knows more about that, but Nigel is the owner of Just Music, and again he does a lot of work for Nibs in producing some of the music that we play. And then the final one is entitled Was Like Us, and this is for Gareth Bowman, our good friend here. And the beginning says Kick the Coo. And we had no idea what really kick the coo means. And Gareth was able to tell us that he worked with one of Alan's bands and they were doing double tonguing. So he was going, to coo, to coo, to coo, to. So that's where kick the coo came from. So this is our final piece. It's called Music for Jock, Tamson by Alan Fernie, and I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.